So, before coming to Sahaja Yoga, it was alright, you were doing all kinds of things, and you would have smoothly gone to hell without any difficulties. It is very easy to go to hell. You can take 2 running jumps and go to hell. The rest of it you should see. But going to hell is the easiest thing. For that you don't have to work hard or do anything about it. But when you are ascending, when you are rising, then it is little difficult. You have to be careful that you should not falter, you should not fall, and that you are ascending. So you have to be very alert about yourself, that you are not falling into the same habits which you had. Some people have a habit of saving money at the cost of surgery. Some have a habit of making money at the cost of surgery. Some people have a habit of not giving the due amount, and like that. It's something of cheating. They all go out of Sahaja Yoga in no time. They may be looking like great leaders in the beginning, but they go out just like that. And many a time people tell me, Mother, why don't you keep a proper account and all that? But in Sahaja Yoga, I am not supposed to keep any accounts or anything, because my accountants are Sahaja Yogas. If you try to play tricks with Sahaja Yoga, immediately you are pushed down in your awareness, in your Nabhi Chakra. You are never helped. You may make 1,000 rupees here, but you will lose thousands of rupees. You might get into trouble. You will have any kind of a problem that I cannot tell. And then you will say, how did I get this problem? So, Nabhi Chakra, if you are not honest in your seeking, honesty of seeking not only means I want to seek, it also means what is your behavior is towards yourself and towards others. You have to be honest to yourself that you sit down for meditation, try to improve your Antar Yoga, try to make your thoughtless awareness, this feeling of thoughtlessness, wider and wider. Try to achieve that state where you really feel thoughtless. So the honesty lies as you rise higher and higher, deeper and deeper into your own being. First you depend on me, that after all Mother is going to do everything. When I went to Mother, my Sahastrara opened up. This thing happened, then this thing happened. But what about you doing something that helps you to open your Sahastrara? So opening of the Sahastrara is very important. Now surprisingly, it is so placed that Sahastrara has got the Brahmarandra at the level where there is, at the point where there is the heart chakra. So, we must know that Brahmarandra is directly connected to your heart. If it is not done from the heart, superficially done Sahaja Yoga, you cannot go very high. You have to put your full heart into it. That is the main thing. Like people, they come to Sahaja and they are murmuring behind. This could have been like that could have been like that, all those things. All such people also are what Christ calls as murmuring souls. He said that be careful about these murmuring souls. Those who go on murmuring behind and taking advantage as if they are trying to save others. All such people also can suffer a lot because they are doing a double game, and such a double game is very dangerous when you enter into the kingdom of God. Any kingdom you are member of, any kingdom, if you are treacherous to that kingdom, you are punished. But in the God's kingdom, it's so blissful, absolutely blissful. Complete blessings are poured on, absolutely with everything. Health, wealth, mental, emotional, all kinds of prosperity you can get in Sahaja Yoga, no doubt. But when you are so much blessed, you are also forgiven and forgiven and forgiven. And there is a long rope given to you to hang yourself. But you really hang fully. It's not halfway. So those people who think they can be dishonest with Sahaja Yoga have to be very careful. Please don't do it. If you don't like to be in Sahaja Yoga, you better go away. It's better from your point of view and from our point of view also. Because in case you are dishonest, you are trying to play tricks and games, and you suffer, and you look funny and strange, then people will say, what's wrong with Sahaja? So we will unnecessarily suffer. Because we cannot show you in the mirror that this man has been very, very disloyal. We cannot show that. So it will bring a bad name to us, first of all. And secondly, you will be harmed by this kind of a thing. If you are harmed, then also we'll have a bad name, that how could it happen? But if you are honest about Sahaja Yoga and about your seeking, you don't know how much God looks after you. Anybody who tries to do any harm to you will be very badly harmed and removed from your path. God protects you out and out, and He looks after you with complete attention and care. And He is so loving that description of His compassion cannot be given in words, but can be only felt and understood. Now the problem is, people who are dishonest are, because of their background sometimes, because of their education, because of their upbringing, or maybe because they are cowards. But there is also another thing that can make you dishonest, is your purva janmas, and that's how you take your birth and your kundali is made like that. But after realization, those people who are of a great valor and great strength ascend so fast that all the problems of the stars, all the problems of your nakshatras and all that, constellations, everything disappears. And you become a Sahaja Yogi, means a newly born, absolutely a different personality. It has nothing to do from where you have come. Like an egg becoming a beautiful bird. So this Kundalini, when it arrives here, the first hurdle the Kundalini has to enter into Sahasrara is Ekadasha Rudra, is here. There are 11 Rudra Shaktis, 11 destroying Shaktis placed here. 5 on this side, 5 on the other side, and 1 in the center. These are obstruction within us, built by 2 kinds of sins we commit. If we bow our head to wrong type of gurus and submit ourselves to their vicious ways, then we develop Rudra problems on the left hand side. These 5 go out. If you have, I think it's the other way now. If you have bowed, because I've never bowed to anybody wrong, so I don't know what to say. The mistake comes from there. If you bow to someone who is a wrong type of a person, and who is anti-God, then the problem comes on this side of the thing, on the right side. If you have the sense that I can look after myself, I am my own guru, who can teach me, I don't want to listen to anybody, and I don't believe in God, who is God, I just don't care for God. All such feeling, if you have, then your right side doesn't catch, but the left side catches. Because right side moves this side and the left side this side. So these 10 things, and one is Virata Vishnu, because also in the stomach we have got 10 Guru Sthanas and one that of Vishnu. So the seeking is also wrong, as well as these 10 Gurus are there. Then you develop this Ekadasha Rupa. When this thing is set in within you, as I said, one on this side, one on that side. So those people who are bowed to wrong type of people develop a temperament or a kind of a personality which is very vulnerable for incurable diseases like cancer and all that. You may develop cancer or any such disease. Those who are bowed to wrong type of people. Now those who think I am better than anybody else, I don't care for God, I don't want God, I have nothing to do, all such people develop the left side Ekadasha. And left side Ekadasha is extremely dangerous too, because such people develop the problems of the right side, heart attacks, physically I am saying, and all other problems of the right side. So one of the greatest hurdles of Kundalini entering into Sahastrara is this Ekadasha Rupa, which comes from void. And which covers the Medha, is the plate of the brain. And that is how it cannot enter into the limbic area. Even those who have been to wrong gurus, if they have reached right conclusion and surrendered themselves to Sahaja, accepting their mistakes and saying that I am my own guru, they can be cured. And those who have been thinking that I am above all, I don't believe in God, who is God, I don't believe in any prophets or anything against God or prophets is the same. Anti-God personality who talks like that, who develops the problems, gets alright if he humbles down himself and accepts Sahaja is the only way of entering into the super consciousness. I have seen people who have been tantrikas are being saved. I have seen people who have done all kinds of wrong things have been saved. Those people who were members of very funny, strange organizations have been saved. But it is very difficult to convince anyone that whatever they are doing has been wrong and they should come to right path. So, a star came to play its part called Pluto. And this star is the one which has brought cancer disease, because Pluto is the one that cures cancer or all such diseases which are incurable. So those people who just go headlong into wrong paths suffer from funny type of heart troubles, palpitations, insomnia, vomitings, giddiness, all sorts of, we can say, irrelevant talking. It is a very serious thing to go to a wrong guru and bow to him. Sahastrara becomes a closed area for such a person. The persons who are against Sahaja Yoga have a very strong Sahastrara, like a nut, in the sense that it's such a strong shell that you cannot just break it. It's a strong shell, like a thick nut. Even if you want to use a hammer, you cannot break it. Today, the time has come that you have to recognize Sahaja. You have to. You did not recognize any saints, any prophets, anyone, any incarnations. But today the condition is that you have to recognize. If you do not recognize it, your Sahastrara cannot be opened, because this is the time when the Sahastrara was opened and you have to have your realization. So it's a very important thing that you have to recognize Sahaja Yoga. There are many people who say that, Mother, why to believe in Sahaja Yoga this way? We can just call you just Mother, you could be my mother. See? Alright, doesn't matter. But you can't get your realization. And even if you get it, you cannot retain it. So you have to recognize. Recognition is the only worship of Sahaja. Recognition is the only worship when you want to know God in Sahaja. All the other ganas, devtas, deities, shaktis are one in unison in Sahaja. And anyone who does not recognize Sahaja Yoga, they just are not bothered about you, what sort of a person you are. For example, a man who worships Shiva, he comes to me and I find his heart is catching. Surprising. He says, Mother, I worship Shiva. How is it my heart is catching? I said, you have to recognize Sahaja Yoga. Just ask Shiva. And when he asks the questions to Shiva, then only the vibrations start flowing. So, Sahastrara takes charge that it makes you recognize, and also it convinces you to prove it. And by this proving, even if you are not recognizing, then you cannot get your realization. But those who recognize also recognize partly. They take liberties, they behave in a funny manner without understanding that who is this person who is here. I have seen many a times, I am talking, people are just putting their hands up, Kundalini, They are just talking, chit-chatting. I'm surprised because if you have recognized, then you should know whom you are facing. Because it's not for my good, I am not going to lose anything. But only you in your ascent have not recognized. That shows that you have not yet recognized. And the way some people try to monopolize me also is absolutely wrong. There is no need to monopolize me. Nobody can monopolize. There are some people who say that mother must have misunderstood. I never misunderstand. There's no question. Or some people try to tell me do this, do that. That's also not necessary. Try to open yourself to this protocol, which is very important in Sahaja Yoga, which I have told for the first time today. That you must try to recognize in a full way. And if you do not recognize, I'm sorry, I can't give you the realization it will sustain. It will start, but it may not sustain. So this is the simplest way of achieving your higher things, is by recognizing gradually and recognizing gradually. It is very difficult to tell anybody if something is wrong with that person. It's impossible. After Sahaja Yoga, I can tell you this chakra is catching, that chakra is catching. But also because you know what does that chakra means, you can come back on me, no, mother, you see, it's not so, I'm not. That's not so. Why should I tell you you are catching? You have to cleanse yourself with full honesty. But first thing is to recognize with full humility and understand. Once you have recognized, gradually you will do everything that has to be done. You know what is to be done. Now the essence of Sahastrara is integration. In Sahastrara, all the chakras are there, so all the deities get integrated. And you can feel their integration. That means when you get your Kundalini in Sahastrara, your mental, emotional, and your spiritual, everything being becomes one. Your physical being also merges into it. Then you have no problem as to, yes, I love mother, but I'm sorry, I have to steal this money. Yes, I know, I recognize mother. Yes, I know she's great, but I can't help it. I have to tell her lies. Or I have to do this wrong thing because after all, I can't help it. There is no compromise with me. It has to be completely integrated. Your dharma should be corrected. You cannot do anything wrong and then say I am a Sahaja Yogi. You cannot. But for this, the strength comes from within. Your spirit strengthens you. You must just put in your willpower that yes, let my spirit act. And then you start acting according to the spirit. Once you start acting according to the spirit, you find you have no slavery of anything. You become samarth, means equal to your meanings. Samartha, also samarth means powerful personality. So you develop that powerful personality which has no temptations, which has no wrong ideas, which has no catches, no problems. But people who are sneaky, sly, try to play some tricks, are really harming themselves, not Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga is going to be, it has been and will be, is going to be established. Even if there are 10 people in the boat, God is not bothered. It's only my botheration as a mother. As a mother, I want many people to come up in the boat. But don't try to jump back by doing all dishonest things. So this is what it is simple, that you are integrated. By integration you get the power to do what you understand, and you have power to feel happy with what you understand. So you come to a stage where you develop this Nirananda. And this Nirananda you develop when you are absolutely the Spirit.